YouTube? Build time, dude. This time we are over on my Titan. And on this one, we're going to be taking advantage of the exotic gauntlets, Synthoceps, and making an amazing Strand build that's going to feature Banner of War. Now, with this setup, we're going to be using the Blade Fury Super, obviously. And then we're also throwing on a Towering Barricade with Strafe Lift. It's my favorite jump on Titan. And we're also doing Frenzy Blade for our melee. Now, on our grenade, we're going to be doing the grapple, which allows you to weave a grappling hook, quickly pull yourself forward. Grappling to a tangle immediately recharges your grenade energy. Now, this one's huge because you can grapple into enemies and melee them, causing some serious damage with those Synthoceps on. Also, again, we're going to be doing Banner of War. This allows you to defeat a target with a melee attack, finisher, or sword to raise a Banner of War that pulses with energy, periodically healing nearby allies and increasing melee and sword damage. Targets defeated by you and nearby allies charge the banner, increasing the speed of its pulses. Now, this is like the bread and butter of the build. As you get to max Banner of War, you're going to do some serious melee damage, which is huge right now. We're stacking that with Into the Fray, which allows you to destroy a tangle or to cast a super to grant Woven Mail for nearby allies. While you have Woven Mail, your melee regen rate is increased. Now, again, that's going to lean into getting that melee back as much as possible. Fragments that we're rolling with on this setup, we're going to be doing Thread of Fury, which is damaging targets with a tangle. Grants melee energy, again, getting that melee back. This does take 10 away from her strength, but it's totally worth it. Also, we're going to be using Thread of Propagation. Powered melee final blows grant your Strand weapons unraveling rounds. I am using a Strand weapon. You don't have to. I would say if you're going to change one of these fragments out, this is the one that you can change if you want to. Next one up is Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. Again, that's going to be huge for getting our grapple as much as possible. And then also we're using Thread of Warding. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Woven Mail. It's going to take away 10 from our resilience, but again, it's going to lean in to our survivability. Now, moving over to stats that I would recommend to kind of focus on with the setup, it's going to be max resilience and recovery if you can. On my character, I've got 100 resilience and then 80 recovery, which is pretty solid. And then leaning in to the actual armor and mods, I would say there's a ton of flexibility with what you want to put on your helmet. I did a heavy ammo finder and Void/Strand dual siphon, which is really good. I would, obviously change this based on the weapons you choose to use. On the gauntlets, dude, obviously we're using Synthoceps, which is increased melee lunge range, improved melee and super damage when you're surrounded. So we're going to be in the thick of fights a lot with this setup, and the damage that this puts out is absolutely insane. Mods we're running on the gauntlets, dude. We're going to be doing Grenade Kickstart to try to get that grenade back as much as possible, and we're also running Heavy-Handed. Your powered melee final blows create an Orb of Power, which is huge, man. Over to the chest, you have a lot of flexibility here. I would say do reserves for whichever weapons you're running. I'm using Void reserves because I do have Tractor Cannon on, because I'm going to be up in enemies' faces and doing as much melee damage as possible. And then I threw Arc Resistance. I would put on the resistance that helps you in the activity you're trying to do. Legs, bro. We're going to be doing Better Already, which is your health begins to regen immediately after picking up an Orb of Power. Again, this is really nice because if you're in the thick of a battle, you can grab an Orb of Power and regen that health if you are in trouble. But honestly, the amount of damage that you tank with Banner of War on is absolutely insane. So this is just like this is kind of overkill, but I think it's worth having on. We're also doing Innovation, which is reducing that grenade cooldown each time you pick up an Orb of Power. That's going to get our grapple back pretty often. And then we're doing Absolution, which reduces all ability cooldowns each time we pick up an Orb of Power. So finally, we're over to the Titan mark, and we are running Utility Kickstart so we can get that class ability energy back as much as possible to get that shield for protection. We are also doing 1-2 Finisher, which finishers restore melee abilities. Again, trying to get that melee back as much as we possibly can. And then last but not least, we're running Outreach, which reduces melee cooldown when you're using your class ability. And again, you can pretty much spam that because you're going to be able to get that shield back pretty often, man. Now, in terms of weapons that I do recommend with this setup, I think Tractor Cannon is a great way to go. You don't have to use it, but since you're going to be in the thick of, enemy spaces and whatnot while using this build, I think this is a great way to go. And then a must-have on this setup, is a 1-2 punch shotgun. I am using Swordbreaker from Crota's End Raid. Now again, 1-2 punch allows you to hit enemies with every pellet in a shot to increase your melee damage for a short duration. This is huge, bro. So you get a shotgun kill, you have Banner of War procced, so you're a tank, and then you start doing massive melee damage. And I'm talking, you can pretty much 1 to 2 hit champions if you do the gameplay loop right. So that's really the only weapon recommendations that I have for the setup. In terms of the artifact, if you're using a Strand weapon, throw on this one here, the Tangles. Strand weapon final blows have a chance to generate a Tangle. That's a great one to throw on. And also Monochromatic Maestro, dealing elemental ability damage increases matching weapon damage, and elemental weapon damage increases matching ability damage. Bonus granted is 10% for 5 seconds. This one's a really nice one to use as well. Honestly, those are about the only two that I would recommend. You could also throw on the combo perks based on the weapons that you're using, man. So guys, give this build a shot. I promise you, you will not regret it. I am not a Titan main again, and this one is honestly so good that it makes me just want to main Strand Titan going forward. What we'll do here is we'll drop some gameplay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, dude, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Let's do it again, bro. Just keep getting melee kills, I guess. I did not mean to fucking use that on that. That did some fucking damage though, dude. That was pretty good. That's not what I wanted. Really good damage on the overload too. Holy shit, man. If you time it right, it is really good. So you want to do that real quick? We have a couple melees that we can use too. Try to get a stun if we can. There's a barrier and an overload up again. Trying to let him shield up. Really good damage on the barrier again. Go and do that. There's a dude up here shredding me. We got to get that server door down if we can. Good shit. There he is. I'm gonna get a stun on this guy and see what we can do on him. Not bad. Definitely not the best. Alright. I mistimed that a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Practice Tuesday, Thursday. This week, 6:30 to 8. Damn, dude. Alright. I still have that super I can use on the boss. Where is boss is over there? Okay. A banner war times 3 right now. I wonder if I can get up there to him. It's doing some pretty good damage, dude, from mid-air. Holy fuck, bro. Either way, dude, this build is so much fun to actually use. I honestly enjoy this more than Bonk Titan, which I never thought I would say. So, GG's, man. Give it a shot because I think you guys will enjoy it.